Thank you. I will start with basically today, discussion. As JC suggested, should be. I think also it's going to be a really good idea to introduce the law of the land and the law of the sea and the differences again in all the agreements of the planet or that has been done in the past and also even now, right now in the different governments and the different judiciary systems that exist on the planet. Um, Basically, every law starts from the common law, which the law of the land, which is ultimately the Ten Commandments, and every agreement has to be done out of that. And so, thus, after 2,000 years, they were able to create the law of the sea, which is called the law of the high sea. Or right now, it's under the the Universal Commercial or the Uniform Commercial Code, the UCC, which deals with the trading and every administration of public trust all over the planet. Um First of all, for the past few weeks that we've been speaking, I've been trying to introduce the law of the land since for these hundreds, few decades, hundreds of years, it has been lost. And we are lucky here at Fiji that we were able to keep it intact. And even though its law of the land is not written on paper, our ancestors were able to actually put it down on paper, so to speak, and they created a trust, and and this trust, even though it's a vessel that comes under law of the land, law of the sea, we use this vessel to to be the protector of the law of the land, and that's what I want to begin the law of the land to actually explain what it is, and the law of the sea. The law of the sea is simple. The law of the sea is everything to do with money, anything to do or with the ships or vessels. Every corporation, every government, um, every church, they all come under the law of sea. They will need money to exist. The law of land is different. We don't need the money or the current of the sea. The law of the land, you are directly united and you have the understanding of being a sovereign entity on land that doesn't need um, an illusion, an agreement like money or a promissory note or a note of value to exchange, and this gives you, this gives you the ability to maintain life. The law of the land is simple. You are connected to this planet. You are the breath, the air that you breathe, and the ruha of this earth, and the spirit. And your body is your connection to the land. Your blood is the connection to the water. Your breath is the connection to the air, and the heat that is inside you, that is intelligent, is the connection to the sun. And this is the basic law of the land. This is why you sleep at night, because you and the sun are connected and in unity. The reason why um, you are breathing is because you are connected to the air. And the law of the land, that is the basic state of the law of the land. You are this planet, and you are a sovereign entity because of the Elohim that resides in you. And thus, the Ten Commandments, which is the first commandment, that demands that also the protector of this truth. In the Ten Commandments, the first commandment, it says, uh, I am the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not have any other God before me. Um, Even though this is just a written uh, um, document that was written on a tablet of stone, it is actually a spiritual mirror of of the law of the land, and every souls that read it, every spiritual, every intellect or intelligence that read it, will be able to see that 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 commandment is actually speaking about you. It's a mirror. When you look, if you forget who you are as a sovereign being because of some memory loss, um, you when you read the Ten Commandments, you'll remember who you are truly and the sovereignty that is within you. I am the Lord thy God. And the word God is a made up word of English that comes under the business construct, which is the law of the sea, which denotes or which is extended, and it means grantor of deed. God, grantor of deed. So some of the words that are already in the English language can be confusing because they were all constructed under law of the sea. And if it's used in the Bible, or in other books or in the normal language, it can confuse the people because they're ultimately words that mean something different in in the law of the sea, which has to do with money and all this. So an example would be, if you look at the $1 note in the U.S., you will see the note there, right in the front of the note. In God we trust. In the grantor of deed, we trust. So they've created a trust out of us, out of the grantor of deed of each individual of the planet, and this is what they stated, that plainly right in front of everyone, that they've already created a trust out of you, and they've taken that power, the soul of all individual of the planet, and they are able to actually harness and harvest it in a constructed agreement that they all create, which is called the banking, the military, and the political, which comes under law, and also the religious construct. So they are all working together in unity, in a system, a perfect system that people think that they are free inside, but they don't understand that they're basically all just slave. And the economic system is based on supply and demand, and it's not based on any other, it's not based on love, on unity, such the law of the land. And the law of the land is the economic construct in the law of the land is really simple. You just plant your food, you eat, and you share, and that is all. You share it. There's no demand of value. There's no supply of anything of value. They're just gifted out of free love. And so this is the topic that I was trying to discuss for the past um, few days or few meetings that we had, and it is really important for people to understand the differences, so that they can have a proper understanding of how to actually restore the different countries or the different cities or the different states, or communities that they are in the different continents. Because people still are so focused and are trained only in the law of the sea. They don't understand. They are not aware that there is another remedy outside of it, which is what you call the law of the land. And I speak about it here from Fiji, Fijian perspective, because we have that in here. Every child that is born in a native tribe is uh, is is written in the book of life, which is called the land, and they are binded to the soil, to the air, to the water, and this makes them a sovereign entity, or sovereign being. And this sovereignty is, yeah, was also very understood by the Queen and the King of Great Britain, King George, and he was really really happy that we kept this structure for a very long time. And so he gave the structure back, and he made a law that in Fiji we don't want any other any other laws or structure of laws or structure of political construct to infringe into the system of the native tribes, because they all abide by the law of the land. And yes, and we've been barely surviving for the past 3 to 4 to 5 decades because of the education system that takes attention away from the true value of the land, and it takes the value of the and takes the people to only see for the economic value of everything. And so thus they want to sell everything they have. They want to sell their land that is written under their name. They want to sell the air. They want to sell anything that any commodity. They right now they try to make up laws and rules and business plans to try and make money out of it and produce profit out of it, because that is the well-known the well-known way to actually run this reality. Nothing, no one can think outside of that box of awareness, because we are trained in school to think like that. We are trained in church also to think like that. There's nothing, the people don't even understand what it means to be free, or something can be freely given and not being paid. And yes, and I know this is prevalent in every part of the world, that the influence of the law of the sea has touched. And I know uh, the restoration will actually have to begin in that level. And that's basically maybe a summary of what has been discussed in our past meetings.